Following the Okuama killings in Delta State, which led to various arrests of individuals for investigation, former militant leader and governorship candidate of the National Rescue Movement in the 2023 elections in Rivers State, Sobomabo Jackrick-Egberipapa, has regained freedom. Prior to his release, it will be recalled that gunmen dressed in army uniform abducted the popular ex-militant leader from his Usokun country home in Degema local government area of Rivers State. However, some residents believe that his arrest and release is connected to the Okuama killings, while others differ, citing the Niger Delta pipeline security issues as the reason behind his arrest. Joining us now on the show is High Chief Sobomabo Jackrick-Egberipapa, the Paramount ruler of Da-Ike group of houses and communities in Rivers State. He will be sharing his experience on his arrest and release weeks ago in Rivers State by gunmen dressed in army uniform. Good morning, High Chief, and welcome to the morning show.
Hi, Chief. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well,
thanks.
There have been many versions about your experience. Some people say you were kidnapped. Some people say you were arrested. The military has come out to say they were not the ones who arrested you. They had no hand in it. Can you tell us what exactly happened? And do you think that this is not just about you, it's about your community? You've been the Egberipapa, the town crier of your community.
Thank you once again, and thank you, viewers. The truth is, what happened on the 8th of April, the early hours of Monday, was something I think I have never begged to experience again. What happened was actually men of the Nigerian army invaded my country home in Degema. Though initially we were not sure whether they are genuine, they are officers, or they were assassins. Following the gunshot we heard from the outside, that time is an odd hour, 2:33 to 3 a.m. isn't a very good time for security operatives to carry out such moves to someone who is a known person, who can be found at any time. And so it gave me concern that late night. I have to call on the Commissioner of Police to investigate, to find out if he is aware of what is going on in my compound. Commissioner of Police made me understand he is not aware, and then he made his own calls, trying to find out from the military officers around the various sectors, who also told him they are not aware and they are not informed, including the 103, that is a battalion that is just a neighbor to me. They told him they are not aware. I called on the director of SSS also, still in Rivers State. He also sounded the same and advised that I should be careful. Since gunshots have been heard and then maybe lives have been taken around the house, it may be that these people are not genuine officers and they are maybe assassins or whatever. So by the grace of God, God intervened, and we resisted them, even though they asked us to open the gate. The officers, I am living with policemen in my house for almost a decade. And the police and civil defense men were also in the house, so we resisted opening the gate. We refused to open the gate until it was morning. By then, the Commissioner of Police called back to say he has confirmed that they are from the 6th Div, which is body camp, and that they are true officers, but that he does not know why they will come at that time and without inviting him and all that, without a search warrant and all that. But I think that is how they came in, forced themselves in, and then they started the operation. So they are genuine military men from the 6th Div.
All right, so that means that the claim that they were, because that would have been quite curious, that men could just dress up and walk into anyone's home and abduct in the words they've used. So you agree that they were military men, they were members of the military. Now, what was the reason? Was it linked to anything? What was the experience like once you were arrested? What happened? What were the charges put against you?
Okay, like I said, I requested to see their search warrant or their arrest warrant whatsoever, which, of course, they never came with. And I asked what could have caused this, this harassment. And they said it's as regards to an intelligence report or perhaps an information they gathered that, a few weeks, there was some dastardly act that was carried out in Okuama in Delta State, and that some of the culprits are hiding in my own house. Such an outrageous allegation. I was shocked. I said, but if that is true, I've been here. You people should have come in the broad daylight, knowing that I am not an invisible person. Instead of coming by this time, and they did their searching around there. Of course, already, like I said, they have forced themselves inside the house. And then, to the glory of God, at that time, the Commissioner of Police directed the DPO of the local government and the area commanders, which also came that morning to verify and to confirm, including the 103. Because at that time, when the 103 never told us they are not aware, but they finally came to join in the process so that they, to avert any, maybe any plot or any other motive they have. They were present when the house was searched. My house was ransacked, and to the glory of God, nothing incriminating was found. And then they asked that we all, my staffs, the officers, and we all should join them, to go to their base. Though the Mopo men resisted, and then they went away with the civil defense, myself, and other of my staffs. Well, now, remember that before they stepped in, 2 lives were lost already. They have killed, shot and killed 2 of my aides. One who is my younger brother, and another who is my aide working with me, living around my compound.
Why did they
outside
shoot at
the
them?
compound?
Did they resist arrest?
So that is what happened.
Why did they shoot at those young men? And that's quite unfortunate, and commiserate with you. But why did they shoot at them? Did they resist arrest? Were they armed?
For the story I gathered from someone who is still living, he has also made 1 or 2 statements. According to him, I was not outside. He said when they came, actually they saw, some of them were sleeping, some of them were actually awake, some of them came out to ease themselves. It was very late. And so they saw, vans coming into the community, and then towards our direction, and then they noticed that it was military, vans. Of course, there is no way they would have resisted them, but because of the kind of information they have come with, that is why I said I think I need to know more about this. The kind of information they have come with, or whatever they must have been directed to do, they don't even bother asking who they are or interfacing with them. They only shoot to kill them. And that is why we too were scared, because the gunshot was heard right inside the compound. The policemen, everybody, so everybody became alert. And when we tried to talk to people from outside, they told us what happened, how the officers came in, and how they carried out that attack, just, unprovoked.
Okay. Egberipapa, a lot of stories have been going around.
Yeah.
As an ex-militant leader, what do you know about the fight about 2 big militant factions going on in the creeks? I'm talking about Endurance and the other faction. What do you know about that fight?
Mr. Ruben, come again. 2 militant what?
2 militant groups.
You're not clear.
Two militant groups going at each other. There's an part where they say endurance, says group, and a couple of other groups. What do you know about the squabble going on in the creeks now? Because Egberipapa, as they ought, the creek they ought as we speak now. What do you know about that going on?
Well, like I said, I am not informed at all. I should have known endurance and which other group that is having this agitation. But the last time I checked, these people are in Delta and Bayelsa. So I am not informed. I'm not privy to that. I'm only informed about what happened in Okuama.
But the creek is one.
The creek is one, right?
Yeah, the creek is one. So what happens in Delta has a base on what happens in Bayelsa and what happens in Rivers. The creek is one. We all know this. The creek is one.
Oga Ruben, let me. Is it Rufai? Let me let you know. The creek is just like Abuja and Nigeria. If something happened in Abuja, actually it may affect River State, but it does not happen in River State. So the creek is one. It is linked to, crisscrossed and linked to each other. But sometimes several hours it will take to get to Bayelsa State, for example. You take other several hours to get to Delta State. In fact, sometimes 24 hours to get to a particular state. So it is not too close. It is not like River State, that you can say something happened in Okreka, and ordinarily, because it is in Okreka, it can possibly happen in Kalabare in the next couple of hours. No. The creek is one, and these other areas has so many places to hide themselves that they are privileged. Our area is not like that. So I wouldn't understand except I am being informed or except I am in the picture.
So you don't know.
I only heard from nowhere that there was a shooting or there was a community.
So you don't know about the rivalry going on. So what about, as we speak today, what's your own situation with that of your boys? You don't know what is going on in that area. You don't know what, because Okuama was just a base where this thing happened. It's not really about Okuama now. So what's your position like? Is that what you're saying? You don't know what's happening and you and your boys are okay?
Yes, but for me, I am telling you, Mr. Ruben, am I talking to Rufai or Ruben? I can't see clearly. But anyway, I am not aware of what exactly is going on. Yes, there are some pockets of misunderstanding in this, in the entire space, between leaders because of maybe a pipeline, surveillance. And this misunderstanding is not, for only even the militants. It is also applicable to the ministers themselves, because sometimes we understand that even the ministers are deliberately, the militants deliberately are partnering this, so-called militants and causing this insecurity around, deliberately doing something that can provoke certain persons. And then when the people speak out, maybe they want to use the connections to silence them. Also, these are something that is happening. I was also one of the people that were not happy, that was agitated until things were put right gradually. But really, what is going on between the so-called endurance and any other group of militants, I don't know. I don't know, because it is not on my fore.
Chief, I get your point. You are saying, whatever may have happened, there's no connection with whatever happened along the Forcados River. The Forcados River is what links, the creeks in this particular matter that we're looking at. But when a man is arrested, the police have said they are not the ones that arrested you. They've said it's the military. You have confirmed that it's the military. Now, when a man is arrested under the law, he has a right to be told what his offense is. Did anyone tell you the reason for your arrest? And if they have not told you the reason for your arrest...
Yes, Mr. Ruben.
Okay, just hold on. So we would like you to tell us what the reason for the arrest is, because they have to tell you the reason for your arrest. Secondly, you are entitled to legal representation. Did you also get your lawyers to get involved in the matter? And if this is considered a wrongful arrest, are you going to sue the people that arrested you?
Okay, Mr. Ruben, the truth is, I'm not a professional. And by the grace of God, I have directed my legal team to advise me in the possible better way to go about it. Just so, to be on a safety. I don't want to take actions that is not my line. But moving on, they told me, when they came in after having access to my compound, they told me that they got an information, like I said, they got an information that someone or one or two persons that are the culprits, or we have amongst the people who killed the 17 officers, the military officers in Delta State, are being housed or hiding inside my own house. How can that be? Me, I have a house. I don't know people coming into my house. It is impossible. So I was shocked. And then that is not it. Maybe asking questions like, do I know this person? Do I know that person? Names? Name dropping. Of course, I will tell them what I know because I am not aware that there is such thing. People coming into my own house as I am, and I will not know the people living with me. It is not possible. And then they went ahead to do their, investigation. After the investigation, like I said, right in the compound, we were moved to the to body camp. And that night, I was taken to the cell, and later on brought out for an interview. I was blindfolded, though I don't know the exact office I was. I got to the office and they opened my eyes, and then I have an interview with some officers who asked me certain questions. Questions like this: endurance, my knowledge of endurance and all that, which I told them outrightly. I said, well, this is not my friend. The name endurance, I know endurance. I know that endurance, the way I know him in the struggle was from the GOC, our elder brother, Tompolo's camp, because I knew that he grew up in Tompolo's camp. He was the aide to Tompolo. And so I tell them what I know about that, but I don't have that link, with the so-called endurance. And of course, the persons that say claiming to have been in my house, hiding in my house, they did not give me the names of those people, or the people I'm communicating with, they did not give me those names. But, of course, nothing was found in my house. And so, the allegation is on, how do I put it? It's not genuine. Well, I want to believe that they just want to use something to call a dog a bad name and hang him. That is what I want to believe. It is a mere plan to actually take my life.
Hi, Chief. You have mentioned
I'm listening.
Endurance on Agben's name. I mean, the general that the military say they are looking for. Were there other names that they mentioned? Because you were saying they were name dropping. Can you tell us some of the other names that they asked you about? I think you also mentioned Tompolo. So what are the other names that they mentioned?
I don't know. When I don't know them, I don't know them. The one I managed to...
You don't know Tompolo? You don't know Tompolo? You don't know Tantita?
I have talked about Tompolo now. Tompolo is my colleague.
So what other names did they ask you about?
What we are talking about, we are not talking about the company. We are talking about the names that are called. Of course, I know Tompolo. Tompolo is an elder brother, like I said, and a colleague. But Tompolo was the leader of this name, Amagben, or the endurance, as you may call him. I know that name, but I don't have that relationship with the name. I'm from River State. They are from Bayelsa and Delta. Even Tompolo, the time we met was after several years. We met only even before my election, just a month before my election, as at the peak of the election, as at the peak of the campaign rather. He called on me because of this Tantita job, and then invited me over, which I went. And then we discussed, even though we have a little disagreement amongst us when, the offers were made and then we got some. Apart from that, we don't have any other thing to have met.
All right.
As for his proxy, the people managing his company, the Tantita, I have a good relationship with them after disagreement. Leaders came in and then settled us, and we are working to. I think there is a way we have synergy. So I don't know where this is coming from. I'm lost.
Okay, all right. You've already talked about the fact that you have a good relationship with his proxies. I was going to probe further that what's your current relationship with Tompolo? When was the last time you spoke to him? Did you speak to him after this arrest? At least if they ask questions with his name coming up, then you might want to have had a conversation with him with regards to the content of that conversation. What is your relationship with him currently? Have you spoken to him in recent times? And then also, would you be looking to sue the military? Because if you're saying that they had trumped up charges, they invaded your home, the manner in which they did it wasn't done rightly, and your hands are clean, would you want to pursue legal redress?
First, like I said, I have directed my legal team in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Port Harcourt. They should put us together to come up with a very nice position. So, because they are the professionals, they will know whether this and that, whatever is possible, they will do that. But as for my relationship with the GOC Tompolo, as we call him, we don't have much, we don't have cordial relationship because, he is leading his part, and we respect him because he's our elder brother. We respect him in the struggle. But I am of my own. We all came out to say we don't want violence again. I wouldn't know whatever action people are taking behind closed doors. Me, I have given it all to the amnesty through the late Yaradua, and ever since I have turned a new leaf. I have been using my own resources to see how youths can change from violent change into non-violent change. It is evident. So, my relationship with Tompolo, like I said, the only time I had that meeting with him twice was when he called me. And of course, at that time, he called myself, he called my father and elder brother, Asari Dokubo, he called the chief Ateke, King Ateke. He called us as the key leaders in River State. We were invited for a meeting after several times, even though we were disgruntled, even though we were not happy with some things that are happening in the policy. I finally find myself there to go honor him and hear from him. And then we discussed. When we discussed, something came up. We had disagreement amongst us. And then he too was part of us. And we broke out peace. After that, that was once or twice meeting. I've never been there again. And we have not had any discussion because even the contact I have, it was not connecting. Okay. So I was not happy because I was not carried along, me personally. Okay. I was not carried along in the Tantita because I wonder why one set of people will be the one to manage these things. But finally, we discussed, like I said, and myself and his proxies and some leaders in the NMPC, we discussed and came to understanding to say, okay, what is due me will be given to me, and then I am believing that by God's grace that will be done. So, like I said, we don't have any problem whatsoever. I have a good relationship with them. Okay, there is no way this would have prompted that.
Egberipapa, I'd like to ask you two questions. Number one will be, have you been given anything from Tantita since Tompolo got these contracts? Because he needs to be able to settle the boys. And how have your boys been living? How have you still been sustaining your boys in the creeks since you laid down your arms through amnesty?
Okay, even though I am finding, I'm having challenges in trying to get the attention of multinationals, in trying to get contracts, in trying to be given what is due me, because I choose to tread the path of peace. I'll give you an instance. The amnesty that was proclaimed, I am a victim of it. I am not benefiting from it. What happened was that the then amnesty team, in the inception, while I was in detention, they came to me with one Dr. Ekwang and one Mrs. Agari. They came to me in the prison and then discussed with me about the amnesty to set me free. And then we discussed that. And when I came out, we dropped our arms. After which they were supposed to come and do my biometrics so my boys can begin to be paid. But they played politics with my own area of coming to do biometrics until the amnesty phase passed. And my people were not paid. So now, to tell you that I am changed, I did not go into violence. I rather see how I can address it, in a civilized way. And, I have to, after having several confrontations with Krisi Kuku, who is gone, we had some disagreement, we came together, arrived. Finally, some of the promises were failed, were not met. To short the story, I sued amnesty to the Senate, to the Nigerian Senate, to the 9th Senate. And then the 9th Senate read my petition in the House. And then after several meetings, committee meeting of the Committee of Ethics and Privileges, the amnesty was directed to release my slots to me, 2,000 slots for my boys, so that they can integrate my boys. After they have investigated that sincerely, I was deprived of my own camp. They directed the amnesty, but the amnesty, then DQ, refused to do that. Rather, he wants to give me some money, which I rejected. I said, no, I wanted the slots. I don't need the money. He failed to do that because we did not agree. Finally, Jomu came. What I'm trying to say is this. You can imagine that the Senate has directed amnesty to integrate my team, my people, knowing that I was changed. What if I have gone out to do anything violent? But I did not, because I'm following everything in a non-violent way. But the truth is that these people are too provoking. By my position now, I am doing this thing in a non-violent way. They are seeing it as though I can't do nothing. But when you go out to begin to take some actions, people will come out and they will call you names. But for some years now, over 10 years, they have denied me and my men, my boys.
So Egberipapa, have you been funding your boys?
The slots that is yours.
Egberipapa, as we wrap up, have you been funding your boys?
Like I said,
in the last 10 years, 30 seconds, have you been funding your boys? And has Tompolo given you anything since the Tantita contract started? Yes or no? Just answer yes or no. Then have you been funding your boys? Quickly.
Of course. Rufai, calm down. Of course. Tompolo has given me, because I told you we had a disagreement and finally we agreed. And then some slots were given to me to handle, and some of the boys are doing what they can, even though it is not what is expected, but we are managing it instead of nothing. Then as for how I've been funding myself and my boys, or should I say my followers, because I'm a politician as well, is by little contract that I do. When you are not violent, the government, instead of respecting you, they rather despise you. They prefer to address or to attend to those people that are violent. For example, look at Ndrisi. Ndrisi pays people that they think that they fear. Meanwhile, they are supposed to be more afraid of us. But we that choose the path of peace, they refuse to attend to us, but they rather attend to people they think that are very powerful. But the people that are powerful are not even powerful. So what I'm trying to say is that this little contract that I make, that come in, is what we use to manage the boys.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Hi, Chief Sobomabo, Jackrick-Egberipapa. Thank you for your time this morning. I'm sure the conversation still continues, and if whatever path you choose to follow, we'll definitely keep abreast of that news.